Hey guys, Kel here, bringing you part 1 of my newest segment, Let's Talk Destiny. Now this is the official name, and I will be using it for when I have a chance to interact with you guys. That being said, let's get right into it. So how this works is I will post an idea either in my video towards the end, or I will post something on iFunny on my profile. I'll have that linked below in the description, and I'll have you guys comment on it. Now, depending on what it is, I'll throw it in my video. Now, I will give you guys a week to come up with answers, but for the sake of getting things started, I'll begin now to start it off fresh. The challenge that I posted to you guys this week was for you to come up with some sort of raid. Now, the idea could be funny, it could be serious, and it didn't really have to pertain to Rise of Iron, it could pertain to anything in Destiny, really. So this time I'm going to read all of them, but in the future, for time's sake, I'll probably only do like 10. So let's get right into it. The user 6578 Squid posted, Varix invites you to a new upgraded Prison of Elders. And much like the Challenge of Elders, you fight boss after boss until you reach the end. However, it will be made where you can't do it with just 3 people without experiencing extreme difficulty. Now, I really like this idea. It would kind of pose for 6-man Challenge of Elders, kind of getting that raid feeling in there. Now I could see them getting really creative with the bosses, maybe like 2 bosses working together to try to take you down, and who knows, maybe they can incorporate some new Siva enemies as well. That would be really, really awesome. Next up we have Destiny is My Destiny, posting, I just want a Cabal raid with jumping puzzles, using the phalanxes with their shields and having them launch us up with their shields. Okay, now, this is really funny because we all know what happens when a phalanx hits you with your shield, you go flying. Now, I'd assume that they'd have to make some tweaks to the shield because as it is right now, we'd probably all die, but really love that idea. That's pretty funny. User Iron Banana posted, literally just like, I'm gonna guess just 9 million, phalanx surrounding you in a maze and you have to get through it. Again, that just sounds like pure hell and I don't want to go through that, but still, awesome idea. Coming up next we have Maz the Sin. So he has 3 parts to this raid, which is really interesting. I actually really liked this one. A cutscene begins where you fly past an awoken city deep in the Reef, and out of nowhere, a wormhole opens up and a gigantic being appears and fires a beam of purified light, destroying the awoken city. You are summoned to a new part of the Reef to stand trial for what happened in the city. You are found guilty. The Awoken Court does not believe your claim that a gigantic being caused the destruction, and rules that all guardians found in Awoken space will be arrested and sent to Sand Court Sienna. Now there's going to be a raid in the Sand Court Sienna, 6 to 8 players. I don't think that 8 players would work. We'll just stick with 6 just for convenience sake, if that's how the raids always go. Now here's the awesome part, it'll take place on Saturn, and players arrive without their ghosts or weapons, and have only melee and super abilities. Navigate unique Vex-like machine structures to find ghosts and weapons to fight these unique Vex, and a new alien species, the Polydros geometric shaped-like beings. Now this is really awesome. I love how you incorporated the idea that there could be a new enemy type, you know, maybe they'd be a sort of like predecessor of the Vex, or maybe the Vex made them as kind of to carry out their deeds while they try to find their new, you know, Black Garden. But I really like this idea, you know, not having a ghost, you know, not having a gun, you know, having to go in there just with your abilities and then along the way finding weapons. This is a really interesting idea, and that'd be really awesome if it was in Destiny. Moving on, we have Iron Galley, a raid in which Xur defies the Nine. So when Xur escapes to the Vex Citadel, the Nine seek to destroy it and bring punishment to Xur. Your job is to stop the Nine and the Jovians from destroying the Citadel and to rescue Xur from the Nine. It would be called Devotion from the Nine. Now, I really enjoy this concept because we don't really know that much about the Nine. We don't know that much about the Jovians, you know. All we have is Xur, and he comes every week, and he's still a really big mystery. So this would be really cool, kind of a way to open up the story, kind of open up our eyes and expand the Grimoire on the Nine and really tell us what they're about. Really like that idea. Next up we have Ace Austin 1234. The Cabal kidnapped Xur and he won't come back until you beat the mutilated Cabal Warlord. Now that sounds really awesome. I'm not sure what what that would mean. Maybe he's a Siva, maybe they got a hold of Siva, maybe he's taken, maybe something else, but Xur not coming back to the tower I'm sure would disappoint a lot of people and would bring a lot of people to come and do that raid just to bring him back. Next up we have Pokemon Global Offensive, Hank the Shank with Crota's abilities. Now I'm assuming Crota's abilities being summoning Oversouls countlessly while you try to revive your teammates and do damage to them. That would just be pure torture. Up next we have Derp Warlock, Go Back in Time to the Battle of Twilight Gap. Now this has been an idea in my head for the longest time. I was thinking maybe, you know, it'd have something to do with your ghost and the Traveler would send you back to Twilight Gap and maybe have you win the Battle of Twilight Gap, or maybe have it go full circle. Your Guardian goes back to the Battle of Twilight Gap, you fight similar to the last mission in Halo Reach where, you know, you're fighting and then you just die. That's just how the game ends. Maybe that's how it's going to be. Your Guardian dies and then it goes full circle. Your ghost comes and finds you, and that's how you were res. That's how you died. You died at the Battle of Twilight Gap. We don't exactly know. I'm sure that sounds a little bit, you know, stretched out there. It's kind of not the really believable an idea, but still, it sounds like a really cool idea. I would love to go back and, you know, fight side by side with Lord Saladin and Shaxx and just kind of kick butts of all of the Fallen there with all of the Vanguard. That'd be really fun. Next up, we have Titanium Chief Randall the Vandal as a boss. Now, we all know Randall the Vandal. He had so much health, just unfair health, just this level 8 Vandal that had just yellow health bar that seemed to just go on forever, and no matter how many times you shot him with the Gallahorn, he just would not die. And having him as a raid boss would just be the worst thing ever. Really great idea, I love it. Up next we have Special Ammo, a Vex raid. After the final boss, you have to choose someone on the fire team to go into the room that locks, and he won't get loot, or you all die and have to start over. So it's kind of like, I guess, a scenario where it's like the luck. There's no really, you know, determining who's gonna be the most successful. It's just you put him in. He might not get the loot, but everyone else does, or everyone dies and you have to do it all over again. Either way, one guy's not gonna win, so that would kind of suck, but interesting concept. Next we have Project Purity. Anything that has to do with the Cabal. They're my favorite race, and I wanted to see a raid with them so badly. Maybe they push to Earth or right outside it and you need to go to their warship/base and take out who is ever behind it. Now, I am totally in agreement with you here, Project Purity. Like, when the Taken King came out and I saw that we were going to be, you know, fighting the Cabal, I thought, you know, maybe there would be a Cabal raid after Oryx, and you know, in one of the missions, you go and one of the Cabal leaders sends a distress signal to the Empire, which made me think that, oh man, the next raid is going to be the Cabal is sending its entire fleet to Earth. Maybe they're trying to advance and they're going to try to destroy it, and it's up to you and your team to go in and destroy the Empire. And I really love this idea. I really hope that they do, in fact, do something with the Cabal. Now, it's probably going to be in Destiny 2, but, you know, as long as they do something along those lines, I'd be happy. But I just hate how they're making us wait, and I would love that. I would really love that. Great idea. Up next, we have Osik 47 Destiny. Not sure if I pronounced that right. Sorry if I didn't. You and your fire team follow a distress call to the new planet. It turns out that it's the Exo Stranger, and she needs your help in the war. She left to fight this whole time because now she's losing. You and your fire team and the Exo Stranger and whatever is left of her army fight through a giant firefight to execute the leader of the opposing Exo army. While doing this, you try to stay alive, duh, but also try to keep as many of your allying Exo alive as well. Of course, you're not really sure the reason for all the fighting, you're just fighting to repay the Exo Stranger. You finally reach the fortress of the other leader and fight to where he's hiding. And you and your fire team arrive before allies who are currently in the weapons room stealing all of their goodies. The leader begs for his life and explains to you and your fire team that in reality they are the good guys, and the Exo Stranger and her crew have been lying/keeping the truth from you on purpose. You easily figure out you must now fight your ex-allies with their help of the new allies, except now the Exo Stranger and her crew have brand new weapons, and of course none of them are wounded because you've been protecting them this whole time. So basically, depending on how well you keep your allies alive/killed, the enemy is a level or difficulty you're going to have to, for the second part of the raid. Obviously, this has to be like a limited time thing, or else you're going to overthrow the first part on purpose. That's really awesome idea. You know, it's very unique. I haven't ever heard anything like that before. So basically, you go in with the Exo Stranger, you're fighting these, you know, Exos, and in the end, you find out that the Exo Stranger and her team is actually bad, and the team you've been fighting against is good. And depending on how, you know, how well you fight the other team, it kind of turns the tide. So either, you know, the first time you're going through, you're going to be like all gun-ho, you know, but then you get to the end and you realize you're like, crap, I don't have any allies. So you're really going to have to change your playstyle around that, and, you know, pick and choose who you're going to kill, who you're not going to kill, and that's a really interesting idea. That's awesome. I hope that we get to see something like that in Destiny. I would love that. Next up, we have Tempest Fugit. You receive a distress call from Mars. A bunch of Guardians went dark after routine patrol in Meridian Bay. You land near Cerberus Bay 3, only to find a huge Cabal warship in geostationary orbit. Without warning, you're teleported up to the ship and begin what appears to be the fight for your life. So kind of similar to just a Cabal raid in general. I would really like that. It would make sense for it to be on Mars, and you having to fight maybe the Cabal Empire, or maybe it's just another, you know, ragtag fleet of Cabal that maybe have a different alliance or something along those lines. But really awesome idea, and I hope we get to see something like that as well. Getting into Dank Humor V2, Lord Saladin gets summoned by the Blight. You must use only the weapons given by him to defeat Saladin. Then you must chase after him on all the PvP maps and finally kill him at the tower, where Lord Shaxx is watching, saying, "Those idiots chasing my best friend are..." Bad word. Did I go too far? I mean, you use that bad word and I'm not going to use it. I'm sorry. I know I use it in a lot of my playthroughs, but this is kind of more of a toned down video. But no, awesome idea though. You know, chasing Lord Saladin, who's, you know, obviously taken now. That's really cool. And you're chasing him through all of these PvP maps that you've played on. So you're going to have to use your strategy. You know, there's all the flanking routes and whatnot. And I assume that would be similar to the timed event where you have to kill a certain enemy and he just kind of runs to a certain objective, and that's where you're chasing him through all these maps. That'd be really cool. And finally we get to One Way Taco. Shout out to my favorite profile here. I've known you for quite a while, and love this idea here. Death Zamboni should be a raid. It's just a big Zamboni, just you use it for killing. Now that's awesome. I think it would be cool to have like one of the summoned vehicles, kind of like the fallen speeders that you can get on and shoot, but this time it's a Death Zamboni and you just get to drive it around a patrol area and just causing mayhem. That would be so awesome. So that's it for the comments, guys. Thank you so much for participating in this. I loved reading your comments. I love getting an idea of, you know, what people would like to see in Destiny, be it funny or just, you know, in general, what he would like to see. Really love all of these ideas. I can't wait to, you know, continue on this idea, continue on this series here where I give you guys a topic and you guys just answer along. We're all having a lot of fun here, you know. So I can't wait, you know, to hear what else you guys have to say about Destiny. I can't wait for when Rise of Iron comes out. I'm going to be doing a lot of streaming. I'm going to be doing a lot of recording. You know, I'll be playing with fans, whatnot, and just having a lot of fun. This is going to be a great end of this year with all of these new games coming out. I'm going to be posting a lot, mainly Destiny, because, you know, that's my gig here. I'm trying to go for. But yeah, just like I said, thank you so much for participating, and, you know, I just can't wait to see what comes up. Hey guys, real quick, right before we end things, I would like to post the next project for you guys, and that is Crucible. Now, I really want to get a Crucible video out there just to show you guys really how bad I am, but as always, I would love a good challenge from you guys. So I'll post on my iFunny, and again, I'll link that down below. And what I want you to do is issue me a challenge. Now, the challenge could be anything from a setup of ability perks to weapons or armor that I should use. Here's the catch. I'm not going to choose one myself. Instead, I will have all of you vote on each other's challenges, and the one with the most votes wins. Now you have until Monday to issue a challenge and vote, and the winner will be whoever has the most votes by the time that I check. Good luck to all, and remember, no holding back. So that's all I have for this video today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, you know, subscribe if you haven't, share with your friends, share with your family, share with whoever. If you think they'd get a good laugh out of it, just share it with them and just try to help me out here too. You know, it's a work in progress, like I said in my updating video. It's just a work in progress. I'm learning new editing tips. I'm learning, you know, what to post for you guys. I'm having a schedule now that I'm going to follow, and I'm just going to be using my time more wisely and, you know, posting more content that you guys can enjoy and in this way, you know, interact with and stuff. So thank you so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, Guardians.